Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some products that didn't work out for me, disappointing products in my personal opinion. I'm not calling these to be bad products, I can see this work for someone else but not for me. And some of these are really popular, hyped products as well. And if you're someone who takes offense when someone doesn't like something that you like, I don't think this video is for you. I'm just done over explaining myself at this point, and yeah, if it didn't work out for me, what can I do about it? So this one is the first one we have is the MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm. Now, there was a lot of hype when this first launched, so I didn't even try to pick the travel size of this one. I was like, I am picking up the full size because it looks like something I would absolutely love, because it's like a thick, nice moisturizer, and every single person I saw this one on, it looked really nice and hydrating. But for me, this is my problem with this moisturizer, okay? It's nice and thick, but it's a little bit harder to blend, and it's just not working out for my skin type. I don't see it to give that glow, that radiance that the Charlotte Tilbury one actually gives me. It's not even very hydrating, and I cannot just count on this product to prep my base, like especially if I'm using like a full coverage foundation, more matte foundation, high coverage foundation. This just doesn't work out for my skin type. I can see probably someone with maybe a little bit of an oily skin type liking this, but it is heavily fragrant. It's also a little bit thick, so I'm not sure. It is a little bit harder to blend. It leaves a little bit of like a whitish cast on my face. I'm not sure if this has SPF or anything like that, but sadly I had a lot of hopes for this one, but this didn't work out for my skin type. If you have very dry skin, I wouldn't suggest this particular product to you. And then we have something from Earth Rhythm. This one is their Get Set Glow All Day Strobe Cream. I've seen a lot of people really love this, and I'm not sure if I just got a bad product, because it just doesn't blend evenly on my face, and I feel like after a while, I mean, there's no sort of like dewiness or emollients left on my face. I feel like it's just a lot of shimmer, so it exaggerates all of the dryness. It's just like, imagine there's just like you apply a lot of like shimmer on your face, and there's no base to it, there's no moisturizing base to it. So that's how would your skin look? It just emphasizes a lot of the texture. It's just looking very dry on the face, so it's defeating the purpose of it being like a strobe cream, in my opinion. It's not subtle by any means, so for me it just started to like look very cakey around the like tiny bumps I have on my face, on around my spine lines, and no product was looking really good on top of this. But this is not dupe for any strobe cream I've tried out. It's just not a good product for me. And then a recent foundation. This one is the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. I'm just done trying out their foundations and their subpar launches, in my opinion. Like, they have the Superstay Skin Tint, which I'm waiting for the longest time for it to launch in India, but we don't get those launches. So when it first launched, I picked it up without knowing that it was going to get so popular. And I can maybe see this work for people who live in very humid, hot climate, where I mean, like wherever I live right now, Bangalore is also getting very hot and humid, but it's just not working out for my skin type. Like, there's certain places it just looks really nice and lightweight, but certain places it's just looking powdery, cakey and dry. And I've prepped this with my trusted primer. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Primer. So no matter what the kind of skin prep I'm doing, it's just not working out, and it was not blending out really well with a sponge, like a foundation brush. So it's just like patchy and cakey looking, and something that just didn't work out for me. Very similar to the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Polish. If you have tried that out and that didn't work out for you, and you're like, okay, let me give this one a chance, I have a feeling you'll just be in for another disappointment, because this is very similar in finish to that. So certainly not for people with dry skin type, anywhere near dry skin type. I don't think you would like this, and so I don't find it to be lightweight as well. So this is a big no for me. And then I tried out a couple of different concealers that I have to talk to you guys about. So this one is the Beautiful Skin Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, the video that I mentioned this one, I thought that it was the Huda Beauty powder that gave me that kind of, you know, a lot of shimmer in it, but it was not that powder. It does have few shimmer particles here and there, but it's not something that is so visible that you would be disappointed. But this one, oh my god, has so much of shimmer. Like, once you apply it and blend it, it looks like the most lightweight everyday kind of a concealer, but you can see visible shimmer settling all over your under eye area, and it's just cakey, and it's just not a good look. It's not something that is so fine that you can't see it. You can see it, you know, sit there, and it just dries your under eye area out. And if you have like creases, if you have like mature skin type, it just wouldn't work out for you. And I don't know what they mean by beautiful skin radiant concealer. Most of these radiant products I just have a problem with, because it's not just something that is so finely milled that you can't see and it's just giving you that radiance. It is visible shimmer that is there in this. And I'm not sure why when a lot of people review products, they don't really mention about the shimmer in this. How can you not see it? You know, it is so visible. Like, it looks so beautiful, so glowy, so radiant, but apply this on your face and you will see a shimmery mess on it. The coverage is very light medium, so it would work for people with the most beautiful flawless skin if it had to, but not for people with dark circles, deep set eyes. Wouldn't recommend. And then the other concealer is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Illuminating Smoothing Concealer. So this is also an illuminating concealer, but I don't see shimmer particles to it. This is nice and like dewy, but the problem for me with this is it's very light in terms of coverage. So it's similar to the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, very light medium coverage. So if you have very dark under eye circles, it wouldn't work. I can see this would have worked out for me if I tried this 2 years ago when like I was sleeping really well. I didn't have dark circles and all of that. I was not this stressed. But right now my dark circles are so intense. I need color correction and all of that. And still it doesn't like work out for me, you know. It's not giving me the coverage I want, and it's also not very long lasting. I've tried to set it. I've tried to like blend it a different way. It just fades away in like a whiff, and I'm done. I'm left with like really faded dark under eyes. So not for me. And then this is the Stay Naked Quickie Concealer from Urban Decay, a very popular concealer. If you get a lot of quantity with this, I think you get around 16.4 ml. That is like a little bit more than the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This I feel like is a little bit of a creamier version of the Tarte Shape Tape. It's very similar to that, the coverage, the finish and all of that. Again, I can see this work for me when I was much younger, I feel, or maybe if I had very oily skin type. But if you have dry skin, dry under eye area, it's just a little bit of a cakey mess, and it's a little bit drying. Like, you can see it suck out the moisture, you can see it cake underneath your eyes. And if you just wanted to try this one out, maybe with a better formulation, better price point, you can just try out the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, yeah, I think that's the concealer. You can just try out. That's a much affordable option to this one. The color match I got, this is 50 NN, which is like a brightening shade, a lighter shade to my skin tone. Like, I'm not very disappointed with the shade match as much as I'm disappointed with the way it looks underneath my eyes. It's not a creamy concealer for me. I feel like it's a very drying concealer. So yeah, I can of course see this work for a lot of skin types, but just not for me, not my preference. And this sponge applicator is just so hard. It's like, it doesn't blend anything. It's just there. You like have to really punch your under eye area out, and so it's just there. Like, I'm not moving. And then we have this one. This one is the Sugar Metal Cream to Powder Foundation. I got this thinking it would be a good dupe to the MAC Studio Fix foundation, which I feel like it is similar. Like, I mean, the way it goes on like a creamy to a powdery matte finish on your face. It's very nice and pigmented as well, but the shade match, oh my god, I can't believe they were selling this shade. This one is in the shade number 40, Brave. So this is like, looks good, but on the face it's just straight up yellow looking. And the description mentioned that, can you see how it's blending out? Yeah, in the description it mentioned that it is for medium skin tone with golden undertones, but no, this would certainly not work for someone around like medium tan skin even. I mean, the undertone is really yellow looking, so it will look like you have jaundice. So that's the kind of look it gives. But it's a nice product. Just the shade match could have been better. At least the shade description could have been better, because not a lot of us can go to the store and try this product out. The packaging is a little flimsy. Like, this cap is not secured for some reason, but yeah. And oh yeah, when speaking about primer, I also have this Glowish by Huda Beauty Blur Jam primer. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. If you have to pick up something from Huda Beauty, try out Glowish by Huda Beauty. This primer, it's so blurring. It just blurs out your pores. I feel like it didn't do anything for me. It was not smoothing. It was not like filling in the pores or anything. I feel like the Benefit Professional or the Insight Pore Primer does a much better job than this one. The texture of this is a little bit different. Like, yeah, this is the kind of like texture you get, which is all nice and different, but just the product has to work, right? What are we going to do with the packaging, the texture and all of that if the product is not working out for us? Now moving on to some products from Rare Beauty, like it's almost like I cannot even mention it because of the hate you get when you mention that you don't really like certain products from this brand, or be it Fenty as well. Even with Fenty, I've had a lot of hits and misses, but more misses with Rare Beauty, like at least like a 70% miss from the products I've tried out. Like, let me explain. The Rare Beauty foundation, it's just too orange. I couldn't find a shade match for myself when I went in person as well. Like the undertones are a little bit different. I feel like they've skipped a couple of different shades. So I got this shade 320, which is clearly darker for my skin tone. It's very orange, but that's not my problem with that. I find it to be very matte, very drying. Maybe okay, it didn't work out for my skin type. The lipsticks, I've tried out better lipsticks from the market. It's just not pigmented enough. Like you could probably like use a deeper lip liner and all of that, but if you have very pigmented lips, it just wouldn't work out for you. But yeah, again, if you don't really have very dark pigmented lips, this would show up and be the most nicer formulations, just very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. And then the lip oil, again, same thing. Like it's not pigmented enough for me on its own. It's not very moisturizing on its own as well, and I don't want to do it sometimes, you know, just when I'm out the door, when I'm hitting the gym, I just want a little bit of something on my lip, like a lip oil. I just want it to at least have a little bit of color. I have this one in the shade Delight, which doesn't show up that well on my lips. So I find like the Blue Heaven lip oil to be much more moisturizing, much more pigmented. That's not a lip lacquer, it's a lip oil. It's just a pigmented lip oil, just like how it should be for people of much deeper skin tone. I've heard that this same lip oil in deeper shades work out much better for people of like pigmented lips and much deeper skin tones, so I'm not sure, but I'm not giving it a try again. I like their liquid blushes. The concealer is okay for me, but so far, yeah, even the highlighter is not great. I find like the Insight highlighter, the Nykaa Strobe and Glow highlighter, much better. The bronzer, on the other hand, is one of my favorites, something I use so much. I use it pretty much on a day-to-day basis. Now coming to the brushes, these were not cheap by any means. These are pricey brushes, okay, and it's like 2,500, 3,000 rupees for this foundation brush. The shape and all of that is good. It just doesn't feel like a brush of that price point. It feels kind of like cheap. Yeah, there's like, it's also shedding. Like I have so many brushes and I don't remember the last time some brush was shedding on me. So this is not like the best brush I've tried out. I know that, you know, the more lightweight it is, the more easier it is for you to apply the foundation and all of that, but they are a little bit flimsy too. Not the foundation brush. I feel like the blush brush is a little bit flimsy for my liking, especially for like their liquid blushes that are super pigmented. I just don't see this working for a lot of different blushes, and the same thing goes with the concealer brush as well. They do the job, they're okay, but the price point just doesn't justify it. I have a foundation brush that I picked up from Fenty Beauty. I'm not able to find it with the way my brushes are placed right now, but that one feels really nice, you know, good quality. I'm not saying that it has to be heavy, because that doesn't give you the ease to apply, especially if you're like doing makeup on someone else. It's gonna hurt your wrist, and it's gonna put all that weight, and it'll give you a lot of like, it would not put you at ease. But I just didn't expect this quality, that's all I mean. Like it just feels flimsy, not the best brushes I've tried out. I just can't justify the price I paid for these brushes, even on a discount. And then coming to setting spray, you guys have seen the mess that this setting spray created. This one is a Daily Forever 52 Makeup Fixer Spray. So this has a little bit of a dewy finish to it, which is great. The way it applies and all of that is, I mean, the nozzle is, all of that is nice, but the product is not blended or something, so it just gives you like this white spray when I applied it. I'm not sure what is the reason that it did that, so I could be the only one that this has happened to, but if you watch that video, you know what I mean. Like just white something on my face. And because it's this kind of like a packaging, you can't even shake it, you can't even mix up the product, so I can't use that setting spray ever. I just have to throw it away. And then we have a blush from Nude Sticks. I feel like Nude Sticks just comes up with really good shades, something that you can use on your day-to-day basis. People of color, you know, people of much deeper skin tone and all of that. I have this one in the shade Sun-Kissed, which is a beautiful shade. I love this for day-to-day usage. So it's not just your like your usual peachy shade. It has a little bit of brown, mauve undertones to it. Shades beautiful, lasting power abysmal. Okay, it's just like you're done. You apply a generous amount of this, whatever, blend it, finish up the rest of your makeup, and this is gone. I have stick blushes from Kiro. Okay, they are for around 800 rupees, but they last on my skin really well. I have stick blushes from Inside Cosmetics as well. Those again are very affordable, not the most long lasting blushes, but they're really affordable, and also you can reapply it, but it has a pretty decent wear time compared to this one. This, I could max give it 10 minutes on my face. I don't know what it is, and I've seen a lot of people review this, mention that the nude sticks blushes never last on their skin. I'm not sure if it's too emollient, I'm not sure what the problem is, but it's just fading away. The last one that I have is a lip liner. This one is the Huda Beauty Lip Contour. I got this in the shade Warm Brown. They are retractable lip liners, which is great, but I don't think it's worth the price. I mean, they have good shades and all of that, but I feel like they're a little bit too creamy, so they move around a little bit, defeat the purpose of a lip liner, and also you end up using this quite a lot if you're using it on a daily basis, and you'd end up finishing this in, I think, 20 days if you're using it every single day. On the other hand, I like a lip pencil, like a wooden lip pencil like this one from Mars, which is not too creamy but not too rigid, not too dry, and the pigment on this one is amazing, and the price point is so good. So it is for around 60 or 70 rupees, and you get beautiful shades, beautiful application, and this is something I use on a day-to-day basis, and you wouldn't like run out of it too fast, because even though it's creamy, it's not like it's just gone, and it doesn't break on you. So I don't justify the price of this one. Even if you can get it on a discount, still no, pick these up. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. These were like disappointments, and these were like hyped products that were like a little bit disappointing for me. Like I mentioned, we have different preferences, so that could be the reason I was like expecting a lot. Maybe I had high expectations and it didn't work out for me. So let me know what products were disappointing to you. What are the products you tried out and you're like, not good? Let me know in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.